Hey guys, I'm Lawton, and today we're going to be tackling this 1991 Isuzu Pup. We're going to be throwing a 3236 Weber carburetor on, and as you can see, we have the original stock carburetor on here. This is the 2.3 Isuzu. As I said, it's from 1991, and we have this brand new Weber carburetor over here. It's the 3236 with a manual choke. So right here, and this is going to be increasing fuel economy, performance, and tunability, which is a couple of the things that I'm really interested in doing, since the original carburetor has been giving lots of problems. So what I've already done is remove all of the airbox items here. This is the airbox that we have here, and I removed a couple of the emissions components that were kind of in the way. They're pretty self-explanatory. They're nothing difficult. You just throw them on. Unplug the hoses. Don't want to keep these hose clamps. These are awesome. You can just use them super easily. You can use them on lots of other cars, lawnmowers, whatever you need. And so here's what we have so far. As you can see, we have the carburetor here, and so to start out, we're just going to keep removing emissions components. All this here is going to have to go. We'll just start by unplugging it. Right now, we're not actually going to permanently remove it, but we are going to start by unplugging stuff. These lines, all these, anything that obstructs the carburetor from coming out. Alright, so now we have most of the emissions removed. I don't think I'm forgetting anything at the moment. I'll probably come across a couple as we go. So now we have to just basically get this carburetor off of here, which is a couple bolts. I think one is down here, and there's just 4 of them. There's one that's hidden here. There's a couple that are on the other side. And that will actually lift the carburetor off of the intake manifold. So once we get that, I'll catch you guys up on that. Okay guys, so the verdict is that I'm going to take off this valve cover because of these bolts that are here. I'll grab the light. The bolts are in here. Yeah, that guy right there. He needs to come out, and so it's quite hard to get a wrench in there. And then there's another guy over here, the other guy who needs to come out. If I can. So I'm gonna take this valve cover off. So that's just gonna require these 3 bolts, and then any accessories that you have on here, like this and the PCV valve. Alright, so I got the valve cover removed. It's these 3 bolts here, and then you'll have to take off this throttle cable, which is just a bolt back here. It's a 10 mil. So here's the top of my engine. I ran Seafoam through it about 500 miles ago, and I did an oil change. So far we're looking pretty good. I have full synthetic Mobil 1 in it right now. So I feel like this looks pretty clean. Personally, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to look like, but I don't see any sludge buildup on these rockers. The rockers look beautiful. Obviously, there's going to be some sludge down in there, but yeah. So now we have to get these lines out of the way so we can maybe, hopefully, get to that bolt down there and that one back. Okay, so we have the carburetor off. As you can see, this is honestly looking way cleaner than I ever expected. Like the in there looks super clean. Here, I'll get you guys out of here. In there is super clean. Doesn't look like there's any, stuff that shouldn't be in there, you know what I mean? And the rockers look clean. This engine's way cleaner than, you know, I expected, to be fully honest. And so here's our carburetor. Boom, just like that. We have the, I don't know what brand carburetor this is. Hitachi, or I don't know, dude. I'm just putting a Weber on. At least I know how to say Weber, so. Okay, so let's put this down and go over the instructions, see what we got to do to this thing to get the Weber on there and see what we have to remove. So let's get this thing unboxed. So we have the choke cable, some fuel line, some vacuum line. We'll set those aside here, up here, and that's with the carburetor. But what we need right now is the stuff that's in here and the stuff that's in here. So let's unbox this stuff and throw these studs in. So what we have to do is, first step is to get these studs out. We have new studs here to get these studs out, so we're going to use 2 bolts and we just tighten them together, and then you can just work the stud out like that. Yeah, we have new bigger studs, new 70mm studs that are a little longer, I think. Okay, so the 70mm studs are going to be the bigger ones, and see we have these smaller ones that come in, but they're going to be these bigger ones that you're going to throw on the passenger side. So if we walk over here, they're just going to go right into here, just like that. You're just going to screw them in, and they don't tighten down much, I think 7 foot-pounds. I'll check on that though. Alright, so now I have these studs in. Now I also removed these studs because we're going to be putting new ones in as well. Put a rag in here so nothing falls in there. So next thing, I did coat this gasket with grease. This is the new gasket. Coated that with grease on the bottom. And so now we're going to slide a aluminum plate over. Looks like this. I'll show you over here. This aluminum plate here. Slide this over. And then we're basically going to install the 8mm Allen screws with Loctite into the counterboard holes. So I will show you how to do that. Alright, so I've made a good amount of progress. We've got these 2 studs in. We have this adapter plate in, as well as the aluminum adapter. So what you do with the aluminum adapter is you there's 2 screws for the aluminum adapter that are like about right here and here. So they're Allen screws. You'll see them in the instructions, but you want to screw those in, and then the actual studs go in these threaded holes over here, like that. And then after this, you're just going to want to throw this plastic heat insulator on here, and then just get the heat insulator on there. Then you throw a gasket on top of here. You're coating the gasket on both sides with grease, and then you throw the carburetor on. So let's do that. Alright, so with that final gasket on, that grease applied, we can now throw on. Okay guys, so we skipped forward a little bit. We got the valve cover back on, and we also got the choke cable hooked up. What you do for this is you have this screw right here, and then you have we have a nut here, right? You can see that right here, and these are together, so you separate these with some needle nose on here, and then you just take a screwdriver to this. Then there's a hole through it. You just throw the choke cable through the hole like that. Put the thing back on, and then over here you're going to take the rubber liner portion, and you want to put it through this little thing you have here. Pretty self-explanatory. You just unscrew this, put this portion through, just hook that up, and then your choke cable's hooked up. You can figure out the routing in there. You should have a mounting plate in there. I threw it through this hole right here in my firewall, already made. Don't have to drill a hole, anything. It's just this grommet, a little plastic rubber thing. I'll probably have to end up drilling a hole through here and just having it feed through there just like that. So now I'm gonna show you guys how to do some vacuum stuff. There's lots of vacuum stuff that you have to do. You have to cap off things like that, so you're not pulling a vacuum. And the main things are just going to be intake manifold stuff and carburetor stuff. So you want to make sure you have vacuum. No vacuum here. This is for your vacuum advance. Right here is for your vacuum advance. If you have that, you can run a hose from here to here, which this goes over here to your distributor, which heads back to this little guy right here, which I'm pretty sure is part of the vacuum advance system. Yeah, so I'm not sure if that portion is part of the EGR system. This little guy right here, not sure if he's part of the EGR system or the vacuum advance system, but it's the only hose that's going from the distributor area. So I'm assuming that's vacuum advance, so you should just be able to run some line from here to here, but I will make sure that's you know what that is. Don't disconnect this guy. This is your PCV valve. You'll want to tighten this up. I haven't fully tightened mine. There's one back here. It's right next to the PCV. You can't see it, but you'll want to disconnect that guy. And you have another one here. And pretty much anything that's going to the intake manifold or carburetor, you'll want to plug. And yeah, so I will also we have one here as well. This guy, not sure what he's doing, but you know, whatever. So it's a lot of stuff that you'll have to deal with. You can run some troubleshooting stuff. The Weber manual over here has a lot of vacuum tips or whatever. So you just want to go through and check all your things, and then you'll want to deal with your idle and stuff like that. We'll get to that later.